the vision of the self. The silence holds sweet conversation with the silvery lake in a moonlit night. As the breath of spring blends with the morning breeze and unlocks the treasure of the buds in the garden of spiritual delight. The goddess of dawn, with her smiling face, dances on the sublime summits that shine like gold. So is the vision of the self unto me, a sweet revelation, a redolent unfoldment, a divine illumination. Param Ananda, absolute bliss. Soham asmi, I am that am I. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Neelambujashyamal Komalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side and is carrying powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Shri Ramcharitmanas, the Ramayana, in Ayodhya Kanda. And we continue after the Doha 90. At this stage, Lord Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, they are all welcome guests for Guha Nishad. And of course, they don't go into Guha Nishad's palace. They stay in the forest, and Guha Nishad arranged all the bedding and the comfort out of grass, leaves, under the tree. Te siyam Ramu Sathari soye, Shabit Basan Binu Jain Joye. That Rama and Sita, whose lifestyle was so elegant in Ayodhya, with countless pillows and gaddis, cushions. And blankets that were, it's like the foam of milk. The same Rama and Sita, now behold, they are lying down on the bed of grass, straw, and no longer they have those costly cushions and blankets. Jogo vahi jinahi pran ki nai, mahi sovat te Rama Gosai. And all the near and dear ones, mother, father, all those who attended on Rama. And how did they attend? As if Rama was their very life, with that type of profound love. Now they are not there. Rama is just bereft of all. And Sita Devi, whose father is Pita Janaka Jagavidita Prabhavu, Sasura Suresa Sakara Ghuravu. She whose father is King Janaka. And father-in-law, King Dasharatha. Both of them are well known in the whole world. That Sita is also bereft of all her comfort. All this is being highlighted, leading you to understand that it is not Rama's misery, but it is the fact of every soul. All the external world of comfort, etc., that is not going to go with him. In your passing days, you will be supported by grass and foods. Grass is grass. Going days means as you attain enlightenment, go towards your goal, the whole world becomes grass. Whole world loses its importance. When you begin to come into waking state from a dream, the entire dream world becomes grass foods. So this point has to enter the mind. The world is not strong buildings and lots of possessions that seem so strong and as if it will endure everything. But nothing really supports the core of your heart. The entire dream doesn't support you. He has come and moves away. But all the dream comfort, etc., will not go with you. But even while you have all the comfort, understand you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect. And don't be miserable. You are Brahman. I am, that am I. Hamsa soham. So don't wait for things to age and perish. Allow your mind to visualize Rama within has left all. He is just along with nature. Ramachandra Pati so Vaidehi Sovat Mahividhi Bamana Kehi. She whose husband is Rama himself. That Janaki is lying on the floor. What has Vidhata Brahma done to them? They blame Brahma always. Look at Brahma's intelligence. Sita and Rama, are they? Do they deserve to be in forest? But look, Brahma prepared them, created all that, led them to the forest. Karam pradhana satya kahalo kologu. People say that everyone faces conditions in life led by karma. So no matter how wonderful the world you come in, wait. Everything that you will touch will be according to your karma. Every day opens up with sun shining and pouring down lots of shining rays and a wondrous message of joy and hope. But is everyone touched by it? No, you are touched by only according to your karma. Kay kay nandani mandamati कठिन कुटिल पनुकीन यही रघुनंदन जानकी सुख अवसर दुख दीन. Just like Brahma is scolded in the beginning, now greater scolding goes after Kaikeyi. This princess from the kingdom of Kaikeyi, she has acted in a very crooked manner, kutil. They deprived Rama and Sita of their wondrous time that was coming to them, being the heir apparent to the throne, and whole Ayodhya was waiting for their kingdom, being king and queen. This Kaikeyi did rang mein bhang. That wonderful expectation, and she smashed everything by just raising two fingers. Fingers play a great part. Look at computers. But Kaikeyi's fingers was that Rama should go into forest for 14 years and Bharata to rule the kingdom. And I have explained to you, it's a spiritual preparation to lead the soul to liberation. Bhakti, Bharata is bhakti, bhakti to continue to make to be at the heart level, at the source, where Rama ultimately will come back. The source level must be inhabited by bhakti or ruled by bhakti. While Rama and Lakshmana, they go, and Sita go into a project of destroying ignorance, Ravana. So while all that goes on, Rama receives strength from Bharata. Bharata receives strength from Rama. At the core level, a palace is waiting for the soul. But this crooked Kaikeyi created all the trouble. It's not to be taken literally, just this is the storyline and the spicing of the story. ये भाई दिन कर कुलक बिटप कुठारी कुमति किन्ह सब विश्व दुखारी. Kaikeyi acted like a terrible axe for injuring the Suryakul, the line of Rama, the family line. And thereby, that wretched Kaikeyi has made the whole world miserable. The subtle humor is behind it. Kaikeyi is the spirit of inquiry. Who, what, why, where, what, and why. And that's called vichar. Vedantic inquiry. Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? www. And when you ask this question, when you bring that questioning spirit, Rangamebhanga. Now, you are happy to see the things, but now, who, where, what, all things are just passing away. All are dream, nothing real. So don't stay here enjoying it. Go after the real trouble. Plan to destroy ignorance. Don't become settled. That's the fact of spiritual movement. But the storyline spices it, showing what happens when the vichar movement enters the mind and vivek begins to develop. And then sarvam dukham vivekina. Now you look at the whole world and it is nowhere the world is going to give real fulfillment. No matter how wonderful, there is only one little mistake behind it. It is not real. This is the story of the horse. No matter how wonderful the horse, only one thing, the horse is dead. Slight defect. And this description that I am giving is Guha is telling Lakshmana. These words of Guha Nishad, because all are sleeping. Lakshmana and Guha, they are the ones awake. And there, Guha Nishad looks at them and presents all these. He shares what he feels in his heart by looking at Rama. Lakshmana has been listening to it. Bhai din kar kul bitap kuthari kumati kin sab vishwa dukhari. Kaikeyi has injured this Raghu race. Ramas. And thereby the whole world has become miserable. बोले लखन मधुर मृदुबानी ज्ञान विराग भगति रस सानी. Lakshmana spoke sweet and gracious word filled with jnana, wisdom, vairagya, dispassion, bhakti, devotion. Now you can see the role of Lakshmana. Lakshmana's role is role of meditative movement. In Ramayana, most times Lakshmana is always shown perking up in every situation. And trying to spur up Rama. But now, same Tulsidas ji is presenting philosophy coming out of the tongue of Lakshmana, which is a profounder truth. That's what meditation promotes, all this understanding. What does it promote? Jnana, wisdom, vairagya, dispassion, bhakti, devotion. If you are practicing jnana meditation in a profound way, then all this will begin to progress. So Lakshmana says, Kahu na kau sukha dukha karadata, nija krita karma bhoga sabubhrata. Oh brother, no one in the world can inflict pain or pleasure to anybody. So don't blame Kate. Whatever you are getting, instead of being 5 feet tall, if you are only 4.5, don't blame your parents. I'm joking. Your karma has brought it. And understand in a broad way all experiences in your life. You have a project and you fail it. Don't now look for enemies and how to revenge on them for your failure. Look for the cause, go deeper, discover your inner strength, your connection with God, and you find you have all the possibility of attaining the highest goal without the help of others. But this doesn't mean that others will not be around you, but they will be around only according to God's will. All the help will come, but they are not help coming independently from people. They are themselves channels of God's will. When a soul comes in a family and receives all the comfort and love from mother and father, all that love and comfort is coming from God's source. No one can share your karma, neither good nor bad. And that further to understand, you cannot say Say, tomorrow I'm not going to wake up in Brahma Muhurta time. Please wake up for me. Do 20 malas along with your own. If you do 30, add 20 to it, 50 malas. Give me a favor. In the practical world, people do that. But that's a different level. That's an exercise of your goodness, good feeling. And it should stay in that level. But it should not develop going deep, that somebody will remove by ignorance and I will attain enlightenment. So I have nothing to do with sadhana. Here is gracious people around, they will give me liberation. So that should not enter your heart. And another point, this statement should not make you be rough with people. Somebody is helping you a lot and waiting to receive your little praise, how much you have been helped. And you look away from it. God does everything. You think you have helped me. Oh, God has. That's totally irreligious, ungracious, contrary to devotion. So, in practical world, you give thanks, you adore people. How you feel about them is your subjective business. And in that business, you are actually generous beyond imagination. You are viewing everyone as a channel of God. God is shining through the eyes of people. That's your inner. But you can't express all that. You simply follow this normal tradition and keep up with normal practical reality. But at the same time, in your wisdom level, understand everyone has to go through situations, circumstances led by karma of the soul. So whatever the duty becomes practical for you, that you must do. That's a part of soul's karmic process. But ultimately, you should not stay in distress. Do everything possible, leave your mind without distress. And that should be the attitude towards all. You look at the world and you hear so much misery going on. Don't spend your night just being miserable because something has happened somewhere. And still more shocking news is always happening everywhere. Your attitude, listening to the misery of the world, whether it comes from a distance, from very close, or from your own personality, your attitude has to be that whatever you are experiencing, whatever others are experiencing, they are not being destroyed in divine plan. souls are being assisted by their karmic process. And in that process, every soul has that possibility of self-effort and grace. So, self-effort must continue, but your self-effort becomes weakened if you allow your mind to be distressed by the distress of the world. So then you are not believing in God's hand behind. Very simple way to understand. You go to the hospital for any practical purpose and you are kind-hearted. When you look around and see so many patients suffering, and your heart goes on melting for their suffering, then neither doing good to yourself nor to the doctor. Figure that out. The whole world is a hospital that has given you hospitality. योग वियोग भोग भल मंदा हित अनहित मध्यम भ्रम फंदा. Lakshmana goes on teaching Nishada, Sanjog, meeting with people, dear ones or not dear ones. But whatsoever people who come to meet, every day you don't know whom you are going to meet. But no matter whatever may be your state of mind, you don't know. But divine plan knows. And nothing happens accidentally. Similarly, Viyog. People move away, are separated from certain situation with being closely related to near and dear ones, friends, but then the separation occurs. It can occur in a very simple way. Everyone is there, happy in the house, and you are very lovable to family. But one day you wake up and say, I have chronic headache. So, though you are there, you have become separated. Karmic process. And conditions that can be pleasant or painful. Your enjoyments, sense enjoyments, can be bhala or bura. Bhala, good, beneficial, enriching, or negative, dumping you downwards. And you're meeting with people, hit anahit madhyam bharma phanda, people who do good to you, they are friends. Hit. Anahit, people who are apparently good for you, to you. But they have business mind. And then there are people who seem to be neutral, udasin. But all this that you experience in the world, friendly people, unfriendly people, and people who are in both tracks. They can be friend or whatever, they are just neutral people. All that you encounter is not accident. Your karmic process brings all this set. The moral behind it, if you, instead of complaining against your circumstances, allow your karma to change those circumstances. First, to understand your circumstances are not dumped upon you by some bully-headed rulership. Your own karmic process has presented those circumstances. And those circumstances are your opportunities for regaining your inner strength and changing your circumstances. You are the architect of your destiny. जन्म मरणु जहाँ लगी जग जालू संपत्ति विपत्ति करम करू अरु कालू जन्म मरण birth death. You came into the world, but you have no idea. You don't even know when you were born. So somebody tells. All that goes on, led by your karma. Similarly, death comes to a person. Nobody can exactly tell when. It remains always in the hands of God, depending upon your karma. In the best conditions, you may suddenly pass away. In worst conditions, you can survive. That's the mystery of birth and death. No matter what progress may be made by humanity, nobody can stop someone's karmic process. All this, jag jalu, jal means traps. Ordinarily, jal means a spider's web. Web is called jal. But just like the spider's web catches little flies and worms, that's why the web has been created. Similarly, the world has created its own jal, and souls are trapped by karmic process. And that the ingredients of that jal are all those that I have named: friend, enemy, joyous experiences, enjoyment, frustrations, meeting, parting. All this is the jal movement. Jagjal, called Janjal. Birth, death, prosperity, adversity, karma, and the role of time All these are Jagat Janjal. धरनी धाम धनुपुर परिवारु सर्ग नरकु जहाँ लगी व्यवहारु. The place, country, continent, whatever place you are residing, your home, your wealth, your parivar, and your experiences of heaven and hell, and whatsoever you experience, whatever you see, whatever you hear, and the things that you work with in your mind, your mental contents, what type of thoughts you cook within your mind. Behind all that, the root cause of all that is moha. Moha is delusion. All that you see or experience is mirage, the Raj of me. False me has created a kingdom. Raj is kingdom. Me is me. Put together me, Raj. Nothing is real truth. All is apparent experiences, like mirage. Look at everything real. The deer go after drinking water in mirage, and all that happen, they lie down and you see skeletons. सपने होई भिखारी नृपु रंकु नागपति होई जागे लाभ न हानि कछु तिमि प्रपंच जिये हो सोई. In a dream, a king dreams he has become a beggar. And a beggar dreams that he is Indra, the ruler of the heavenly kingdom. Wake up, there is neither gain nor loss. At soul level, soul has nothing to do with all this. Whole day you live, etc., go to sleep, and in sleep, you are not experiencing who you are, what you have gained. All moves away, and you are not at a loss at all. So nature has created a time to give you a hint of what the reality is. Day by day, there comes a time when you sleep. And at that time, everything, no matter how things you love, body, mind, intellect, all your memories and all things that you have, all the projects you have before you and all your dreams, but all moves away. Even ego is not there. And you are now not in any way you have not lost anything. This gives you the insight that the real I am, firstly, your ego is not real you. The real I am is beyond your ego. So don't stay involved with listening to your ego's complaints and go on sharing your ego's complaints with others. Grow up. And can do so by developing devotion, bhakti. अस विचार नहीं कीजिए रोसु, काहू ही वाद न देइए दोसु. Having reflected upon this divine truth, one should not develop, one should not be angry with people who seem to have caused difficulty in your path. This again doesn't mean that now you can go back again to be mishandled by others. You learn lesson from practical point of view. If you have a baby cat and scratches your eye, learn lesson how to hold the cat. But don't develop undue anger. यही जग जामिनी जागहि जोगी, परमारथी प्रपंच वियोगी. जानिए तब ही जीव जग जागा, जब सब विषय विलास विरागा. In this world, the world experience is just like darkness. All those who have worldly mind, they are as if in a dark world. Majority of people are sunk in the dark world of ignorance. They are as if sleeping. But those who have developed aspiration, they are waking up. Those who have attained enlightenment, they are fully awakened. The Gita has said, Ya nisha sarvabhutan tasyam jagrati sanjami. The dark night in which all souls seem to be sleeping. Those who have developed aspiration for God realization, they are as if awakened. Those who are yogi, those who are striving to attain liberation, those who have developed vairagya towards the world process, they are the ones awake. Others are just sloths, sleeping. जानिए जब ही जीव जग जागा, जब सब विषय विलास विरागा. You know a person, a jiva, to be awakened if that jiva has developed vairagya, this passion towards bhog vilas, to understand better, anyone who views goal of life to be pleasure of the senses, that's bhog, or collecting materials of luxury, vilas, bhog vilas. If you just secure bhog vilas and that you consider the purpose of your life, you are just sleeping and dreaming. Nothing you are going to gain. Rather, you are putting yourself into bigger trouble. Hoi vivek moha brahma bhaga, tab raghunatha charana anuraga. When vivek, discriminative intellect develops, the subtle intellect that sees, begins to discriminate between what is good and what is not good, between what seems pleasant, pleasure, preya, and what is shreya. Mind begins to discriminate between what will lead you to purity of heart and towards the northern course, or what makes you fall into worldly traps, get into deeper stages of bondage. If that type of discrimination occurs, you are waking up from the world process. And what happens? Oi vivek moha brahma bhaga. All the delusional traps that we just described, those traps will not entrap your soul. Then what will happen to your heart? Tab raghunath charan anuraga. Instead of loving these objects of the world and these transient relations, your anurag, your attachment develops towards God, and it goes on developing. That is not possible in relation to objects. You become attached to an object. You can lead the attachment to a certain degree, but then ultimately you become frustrated. So the joyous attachment ends up with a lot of mental stress. But when you become attached to God, that attachment goes on increasing with increasing joy, increasing freedom, leading to moksha, liberation. And that type of love. And that goes on growing. And there comes a stage, it grows with mathematical progression. Normal growing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grace growing 2, 4, 16, 256 and so on. Geometrical progression. Ram Brahma Paramaratha Rupa Avigata Alakanadi Anupa. And this is a revelation. Rama, Brahman, God is absolute reality. Avigat cannot be known by ordinary intellect. Alak cannot be seen by your eyes, beyond the range of your senses. Anupa, Anupam, no comparison in the world. Sakal Vikar Rahit, all the vikars are Prasad Vikar, Jayate, you are born. After birth, you get an identity. You grow. Youth stage makes a big transition. Then comes the aging process. And then death. The 6 stages called vikaras. Sakal vikar rahit. But all the vikaras are out in your Godward movement, free of vikaras. The soul has not to worry about all these vikaras. And Bheda Shunya. To understand that there are 3 types of distinction. Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagat. Sajatiya means I'm giving very ordinary example. You go into a garden or a forest. One tree, a mango tree, is different from a banyan tree. No. Sajatiya means there are lots of mango trees, but each one has its individuality. This particular one, you like it. Sajatiya Bhed. Even though they are same tree, name is same, but they're different. Vijatiya, mango tree, is different from jackfruit. Swagat, even in the mango tree, one branch is different from the other branch. So this how the differences can be understood. But all these differences belong to the world, not to the self. The sun can create lots of illuminations, but those illuminations are not real differences. Sun is beyond all difference. Same way, God within you, and that means the soul within you, which is divine. And with this I am concluding. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarikuma Bandhana Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhave Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.